From hallucinating a pregnancy to being born as full-fledged adults, here are 6 of the weirdest moments that are making it into the Dune 2 movie. Starting off with Paul Atreides' sister, Alia Atreides, who's a new character being introduced in the film series. Dune Part 2 plans to unveil the main character's sister, but here's the twist. She's born as an adult, and is born with all the memories and world knowledge of a conscious adult. Not to mention, she's super intelligent too. This happens because of her mother, Jessica's ambition to become the Reverend Mother. As part of the transformation ritual, she has to drink from the water of life, which is a completely ironic name considering the water is poisonous. But Jessica uses her Bene Gesserit powers to make it safe for herself and successfully turns into the Reverend Mother. There's only one problem. Jessica was pregnant at the time, and her baby Alia is born with an adult consciousness. This is especially dangerous in the Dune world, as these kinds of children are called abominations, and are especially unstable. It's gonna be interesting to see how the movie handles the birth of this abomination. I'm kinda worried and excited at the same time, cause Alia Atreides' character is the only one whose actor hasn't been announced as of yet. Fingers crossed it's not as weird as the books. Speaking of Alia, our next weird moment is when Paul actually dreams about before she's born. This was a crucial moment the series director, Denis Villeneuve, actually left out of the first movie, so fans are hopeful he explores it properly in the second installment. When Paul and his mother, Jessica, are on the run from the Harkonnens, our main character, played by Timothée Chalamet, accidentally ingests the spice, a hallucinogenic drug. He then has a bunch of hallucinations about the future, one of which is about his mother's pregnancy and her abomination baby. So he hallucinated his sister, Alia, before she was even born. This is a pivotal plot point actually, because it shows that Paul's clairvoyant powers are actually surpassing those of his mother's. Sure, his mom might be a powerful Bene Gesserit, but Paul has something much more than that. He was turning out to be an all-powerful Kwisatz Haderach. These omniscient visions are gonna be super trippy to watch on screen, and I'm looking forward to the way our director produces these scenes. But the question remains whether these are going to be a work of art or just plain weird. The real question that's on everyone's mind, though, is whether Paul Atreides is actually going to ride a sandworm in Dune 2. For anyone even slightly familiar with Dune lore, sandworms are these huge creatures native to the planet of Arrakis. And if you've seen any pictures of Villeneuve's vision of them, you'd know they look like huge, terrifying black holes. It gives me nightmares just thinking about them. These life forms are notorious for being super destructive and just go around terrorizing all the characters in the series. But rumor has it that the director of Dune 2 is gonna show Paul Atreides taming one of them. It's no secret that Atreides holds the power of the Fremen. He even becomes their emperor later, and can tame one of the sandworms. It's practically a Fremen rite of passage to tame and ride one of these hulking beasts. Granted, Villeneuve hasn't really shown these creatures on screen as much as maybe Dave Lynch has, who directed the 1984 film adaptation of Dune, but their relative absence has just scintillated the audience more. It's like a delicious tease. And now audiences are more excited than ever to see how Paul manages to ride one of these black holes on his legs. Talking about exciting things in Paul's future, like riding a sandworm, there's also a really dramatic transformation in store for the character. At some point in the movie, Paul Atreides is gonna figure out that the sandworms are actually producing the popular drug drug spice. He's gonna have to drink the drug, and all hell proceeds to break loose for him. Unfortunately, his system can't turn the drug into something safer like his mother did with the water of life, and as a result, Timothée Chalamet is gonna have to enact a coma-induced stupor, followed by a truly painful transformation. It's only when Paul wakes up from his weeks-long slumber that his mother, Jessica, connects the dots. His system actually did change the drug into a safer substance the way hers did, but it just took longer. The fact that he even woke up in the first place is gonna prove to her that he holds the same powers she does, that he is the only male Bene Gesserit, the Kwisatz Haderach. Now, a lot of fans are saying that this may be a weird plot point, but you see, it's crucial for Paul's character evolution, cause it's the only thing that's gonna communicate to audiences just how powerful Paul actually is. The Kwisatz Haderach holds the power to see into the past, present, and future of the entire universe. Speaking of important plot points, Paul's downfall can't be ignored, just the way his ascent to power cannot. In spite of being established as this omniscient being hailing from the Bene Gesserit, Paul still manages to lose control of his empire. His empire is made up of the Fremen, and they all turn against him and each other. Millions of beings wage war across the universe. Paul Atreides' own legions committing atrocities in his name, and the casualties are in the billions. Paul can't even be surprised, cause he saw all this in his visions of the future. And this downer ending is just a fulfillment of the lifelong prophecy that was kinda inevitable. Many fans are both worried and excited to see what Villeneuve does with this prophecy, and how he tackles such a depressing conclusion to the film. But considering the director has commented on wanting to adapt the Dune books sequel, Messiah, into a movie too, we might just get a third installment of the series, where Paul wins back the Imperium. The question still stands: is Dune 2 gonna end on a note of hope or heartbreak? Only time will tell. Our closer moment for this list might just be the weirdest of them all. Frank Herbert's novel, Dune, is full of the wildest plot points, but this one might just take the cake. The Fremen's rituals with the water of life revolve around those taking part in them to have their inhibitions lowered, and to achieve this, they are all to take a drug called the spice, which comes from the melange plant, and have a huge orgy amongst each other from its effects. Even Jessica, Paul's mother, has to partake in this group revelry of sorts in her quest to become the Reverend Mother. Just a note here is that the director would have to delve into the origins and intricacies of the water of life to be able to explain this plot device. Now, assuming he does that, it's still pretty up in the air how Villeneuve tackles this. It's gonna take a little bit of tact and a lot of bit of gusto to pull this off properly. As of right now, only the cast really knows how they'll go about this, and whether they'll even acknowledge it, or sidestep it altogether. From dangerously unstable abomination children to a potential downer ending with a cross-universe war. This is all I know about the 6 weirdest moments of Dune 2 you might not be ready for.